Sex is a multiplier. Sex cannot keep a relationship. Sex cannot stop a relationship. Sex cannot build your marriage, nor will it destroy the marriage. Hello friends, thanks for joining us.
Okay, it's another interesting topic. So each time you see us together, just know that it is something juicy, something very sensitive and something very daring. So I like to always have my backbone while we talk about it, so that every man and woman will be represented. So sex has been a major issue in relationship. A lot of people have seen sex as a yardstick for either entering a relationship, keeping it, or breaking it. So when we attended a particular program, one of the questions that was asked is, how do I show my boyfriend that I love him without sex? And it gets me wowed. In a Christian gathering, I was shocked. So today, we are going to be talking about things you need to know, you must know before sex. Things probably you don't know about sex. Probably nobody have told you about sex. Let's quickly dive into it.
Yeah, before we go to things, I would like to make this statement.
Okay.
Sex is a multiplier. Sex cannot keep a relationship. Sex cannot stop a relationship. Sex cannot build your marriage, nor will it destroy the marriage. Sex will only multiply the things that are in you, the husband, and also in the wife. So sex is like an amplifier. If the husband was a good guy, sex will make him more good to his wife. If the wife was a compassionate woman, sex will make her more compassionate towards her own husband. Sex is a multiplier. Sex will not take anybody to hell. It will not take anybody to heaven. It will only multiply your identity to each other as couples.
That makes it.
That's all.
So whatsoever is in a woman, sex multiplies it.
Yes.
So sex does not make you either good or bad.
No.
If you are a bad person, sex will not change you.
No.
If you are a good person, also sex will not change you.
No. What it does is that it empties the person into the other person and empties the other person into the other person. And over time, you discover that they begin to do things alike. They think alike, they reason alike. Why? Because sex has multiplied and connected them together.
That is doing things alike. We are talking about a marriage now.
That's what I'm saying. It has multiplied and connected them together. The both couples are now one flesh. But for you to now say sex will keep a relationship, sex will break a relationship, that is far from it. You have seen it. A lot of people, singles, they have sex and they still don't get married. A lot of singles, they have sex and they get married. So it doesn't do any of them. It is just the individuals that are involved in it that determine whether they want to go into it or they don't want to go into it.
So if you're out there and you say the reason you are stuck with this guy, the reason you are stuck with this lady is because of sex, that if you stop sex with him, he will not marry you. If you stop sex with her, she will go after other men. You are doing it for the wrong reason.
Far from the truth.
Far from the truth. In as much as sex is meant to be enjoyed in marriage, we are aware that a lot of people also go into it before marriage.
Okay.
But just know that that can't keep your relationship. Neither can it break it. So
somebody will say, what you are saying is mental assumption.
Okay.
Genesis chapter 4 verse 1. The Bible says, and Adam knew his wife, and she conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Cain. Now, what this is telling us is that sex is not just the physical intercourse. It is a knowledge-based phenomenon. Adam knew his wife. The husband knew his wife. The wife knew her husband. That is why when the angel approached Mary and said, you will conceive, she said, sir, I know not a man. Knowledge. And 1 Peter 3 verse 7, Peter speaking by revelation, it says, husband, dwell with your wives according to knowledge. So knowledge in every ramification of her life and his life. The husband should know the wife should know the husband. So it is in the depth of this knowledge that the manifestation comes as the sexual intercourse or lovemaking. But you cannot dwell in sex outside knowledge. You cannot stay in ignorance and claim that you know this person. You don't know the person. That is the more reason why a lot of people that have illicit sex up and down, they do that, and when problem starts coming, they start looking for where to hold to attack the root cause of the problem. They did not know that they have acted out of knowledge. They acted in ignorance, and my people perish when they are outside knowledge.
Okay.
What are those things I must know, you must know, we must know before sex?
5 things.
Number 1, mental sanity.
Mental sanity.
The husband, the wife, before sex must come to the realization that the both of them are mentally sound. They are sane people. They are not influenced by circumstances, by events outside their thinking pattern. They have to agree with themselves, come to terms that their mind is at peace.
That is mental sanity.
They must have mental sanity. That is the more reason why somebody will tell the other person that I am moved by the way she walks. That person has a problem.
Has a problem.
I like tall guys. I like handsome guys. That lady has a problem. She's not looking for the mental sanity of the tall guy or the fair guy. She's looking at the outward things. When outward things begin to influence the other person, that sex is done in ignorance, and that can lead to damnation. Because my people perish, Hosea 4 verse 6, for lack of knowledge. So the first point is that the husband and the wife must get to a place of equilibrium, which is called the mental sanity.
Okay.
The second point is that the both of them must encounter mutual sensitivity.
Mutual sensitivity.
The husband is in a mutual point state with the wife. They have been playing since morning. They have been playing in the bathroom, in the dining, in the kitchen, during domestic activities. They are mutually sensitive. They take and receive touches and kisses in sensitive places, and they are mutually sensitive to each other. All this happens at the platter of knowledge. Knowledge. That's point 2. Okay. Point 3. They are also at the stage of money satisfaction.
What do you mean by money satisfaction?
Money satisfaction means that this knowledge they have, this mental sanity, which is the first stage, the mutual sensitivity, the second stage, imply whether or not money is there or not. Money satisfaction means with money or without money, we are both happy. Money satisfaction means I don't need any gratification from the external things. I only need gratification from our mutual understanding.
Okay, so what I'm looking for a way to put it right so that you can give a better explanation. So what you are saying in essence is that you shouldn't, husband and wife shouldn't engage into sexual intercourse because the man can provide for the woman what she needs, what she wants at every point in time.
Okay, some women, some wives use sex to receive money from their husband. That is where I am thinking you are heading to.
That's exactly where I'm heading to.
Some wives will make requests for certain things, and the husband will say it's not there. So, but when she gives him sex, he will now release the money. No, that is a wrong approach to sex. It's wrong.
In marriages, when I hear some of these things, my mouth will just go, wow. How on earth will a woman tell her husband that before you touch me, you must get me the latest Infinix, right?
Yeah.
Before you touch me, you must get me the latest car. Before you touch me, you must take me to the latest eatery in town.
Yeah.
And some husbands also the same thing.
Yeah.
If I must have intimacy with you, wash my clothes. You must wash my car. So
all this is called money satisfaction. The word money satisfaction is placed there as a rhetorical term.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that money is the one that will satisfy. It means money does not satisfy. The fourth point, which is also sort of rhetorical, is minor selection.
So if you're wondering what rhetorical means, it's question that you don't really need to give an answer to. You just answer yourself, inside yourself.
Minor selection.
Minor selection. What does that mean?
It means that before that sex, the husband or wife should have a zero tolerance about anything at all. Zero tolerance in the sense that every other thing outside the wife counts less. Every other thing outside the husband does not matter. Because right now, what is important is my wife. What is important is my husband. Zero tolerance. Shut down your phone. Shut down every external thing that will bring a break. It's called minor selection. Narrowing down all things. So outside your husband, outside the wife.
In other words, we are talking about distraction.
You can call it that.
Only be attracted to your partner.
At that time.
Yeah. Because sometimes sexual activity is about to happen. You know, the foreplay is there, you know, all those preparatory things that you do before the major action. Because to me, those are the main things that matter. The major action doesn't take more than 5 minutes. But every other thing are the things that really brings about the climax of the enjoyment. And you will now notice that maybe at the verge of it, the phone starts ringing. A text message comes in, and you have to halt the whole thing to answer to that. Say Shusha.
Number 5 is mega suiting. Mega suiting is the
mega
climax.
suiting.
Is the climax.
After the minor selection, there is a mega suiting.
That is the end result, the last stage.
Okay.
That is where everything takes place. Because there has been a build-up. Remember, it is 5 things you must know before sex. As couples. It's a build-up, and the last one is the climax. All these things are what? Based on knowledge. Remember,
that's the first one.
Everything we say is based on knowledge. Remember that Genesis 4:1, and Adam knew his wife. 2 Peter 3:7, husbands, live with your wives according to knowledge. And these 5 things are knowledge based, so that your love-making life, your sex life as couples will be sweet and wonderful. Over to you, Mona.
Now, I want to talk a little bit on, is it, what do you call it? Money satisfaction.
Okay. Where
husbands and wives place a price tag before they can have sexual intimacy. I don't understand. How did it deteriorate to that point? Do you think that this whole thing started while in the marriage? Or as a result of the different family backgrounds each of them have come up from? Maybe they have seen their parents do that. Maybe they have had their friends talk about it. Or, because I can't really imagine.
Okay.
And what should be done to clearly do away with this?
If the husband and the wife are honest, there was a crack
in the wall.
And on the process of their marriage, there was a crack, and that crack was not attended to. And when the crack was not attended to, it started bringing out a lot of problems. All they need to do is to sit down and retrace back their steps and see where they went wrong. Apologize to one another and move on. It is happening. It is happening. A lot of couples are having challenges. A lot of couples are customers to counseling group, to a counselor, marriage counselor. They are customers. They are just frequenting those places. The problem is they have built their marriage over time on ignorance. And ignorance cannot hold anything. You need knowledge. You need knowledge, man. This is not good at all.
It's not good.
Perhaps there was a mistake in the marriage and the other person is capitalizing on that error instead of forgiving and letting it go and move on. Yes, we agree to disagree. We disagree to agree. We agree to agree as couples. But let not your disagreement deteriorate down to that level that it will cause a rift. Please, whatsoever you do to him, you are doing it to yourself. Whatsoever you do to her, you do it to yourself. And the two shall become one flesh.
So, if you as a wife is in the habit of taking material things or monetary or things that are of monetary value from your husband before he can have access to your body, you need to ask yourself this question: why did I marry this man in the first place? It means you don't understand what marriage is all about. Secondly, are you a prostitute? That's the next question you need to ask yourself and answer it sincerely, because it is only the social sex workers that are being paid for any man having access to their body. Because in marriage, our body belongs to each other. So, if you as a man also will always demand something from your wife before you will have access, or before she will have access to your body rather, are you a prostitute? I don't know what they call men that's prostitute. I think it should be prostitute also. Why did you get married to her in the first place? Because it would have been better if you keep on going to these women that are, what do they call them? Sugar mummies or what? I don't know. There are women who also engage men. They pay men to have sex with them. But this is your marriage. And sad enough, it's also happening in Christian homes. And this is one of the things that Brother Paul said. Some of the things that happen are things that tingle the ear, that
it should not happen.
It should not happen among the believers. I mean, okay, a word they say is enough for the wise, and we have said more than one word. And we do hope that this blesses you and you turn a new leaf and understand the reason you go into sexual intimacy with your husband. And the reason those relationships never worked out wasn't because you were not good in bed. You went into those sexual activities ignorantly, even though you were not supposed to. So, but you don't have to beat yourself up about it. So, from us,
God bless you.
And see you
in another video.
In another video. Anytime you see the two of us here, just know it is going to be what juicy. So, yeah, now.